Finish him!
What's going on, guys? Love Smash, back with an all new video for you guys today, and in today's video we're going to be discussing Chapter 1 of the MKX Story mode. Now the footage you guys are seeing right now was taken straight from the MKX live stream that happened on Friday, and in the live stream they stated this is only part of Chapter 1. This isn't the full thing, all the footage we're going to see, it's only part of it, and we've actually learned this is the middle of Chapter 1, and what I mean by that I'll explain in a second. But to pretty much sum it up quickly, GDC was a little while ago, and I talked about that in my previous video. And what GDC is the Game Developers Conference. And during that time, as it was going on, there was Chapter 1 of the MKX Story on display for people to try out and play. So a couple people went to GDC, found out what took place, and posted everything online. So what we found out is the footage you guys are seeing right now, and we saw in the live stream, is the middle of Chapter 1. But what I want to talk about in this video is what takes place before this footage, and there is a lot of stuff that takes place after this footage. So that's what we're here to talk about today. So I just want to say two things before I start. The first one is that there are some spoilers in here, so if you guys do not want to know, please do not watch any further. And second, I was trying to get this video to you guys on Friday. Unfortunately, I did not finish it, and yesterday I was very busy, so I did not have the opportunity, but I figured I'd get it out for you guys today on Sunday. And also in this video, I want to talk about some skins that are coming along with the Kombat pack, but we'll talk about that afterwards. But without further ado, let's dive right in and talk about what takes place before all this footage in Chapter 1. And by the way, if you guys would like to read this for yourselves, I will put the link in the comments and description where I got all this info from. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive right in, and this is how it begins. Supposedly, it starts off in a subterranean cave where a few statues of characters are shown. And if you saw the Cage Family reveal trailer, that's how that trailer started as well. So I'm guessing that footage is pretty much from the beginning of the story mode. And a narrator gets on and talks about how Raiden got permission to set up the Mortal Kombat tournament to give Earthrealm a fighting chance against the other realms. Then it states that 2 years ago, Shao Kahn was defeated and he was sentenced to death by the Elder Gods for breaking the rules of the Mortal Kombat tournament, which was the ending for MK9. Then it goes on to say, this was all orchestrated by Shinnok so he could resume his war against Raiden and the Elder Gods. And then finally it just states that most of the Earthrealm warriors are either dead or they were resurrected by Quan Chi. And that was pretty much it for that. Then what you guys are seeing right now, the footage from the live stream, this is the middle, and this is what happens right after that prologue. Now I want to talk about what takes place after all this footage that you guys are seeing. So after all this, after Johnny Cage defeats Sub-Zero and Scorpion, it goes to a scene of Raiden and Fujin fighting a bunch of demons, and Raiden is dressed in his costume similar to his MK1 attire, and Fujin looks similar to his MK Armageddon look. And they're just fighting hordes of demons, and all of a sudden Quan Chi shows up. And along with Quan Chi, he has Stryker, Kabal, and Sindel by his side as revenants. And Raiden and Quan Chi exchange a few words, and all of a sudden Kabal takes his hooked swords and drives them into Raiden's shoulders, and Sindel screams to deafen Fujin. Then it cuts to a scene where Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Kenshi are in this forest area, and all of a sudden the revenants of Nightwolf, Smoke, and Jax show up. And Nightwolf commands both Smoke and Jax to take down Johnny Cage and Sonya. So Smoke ends up saying, Smoke is dead, I am an Inenra. I think that's how you pronounce the word. And I had to look that up online because I wasn't sure what it was. Apparently it's a Japanese smoke monster that could take the form of a human and can only be seen by those who are pure of heart. So Johnny is fighting Smoke, Sonya is fighting Jax, and Jax says to her, this is your last mission, and Jax gains the upper hand in the match, but Johnny comes in and knocks back Jax and says, gonna fix you someday, Jax, and then you end up fighting him, and one of his variations is called Pumped Up. So after that's all said and done, Kenshi, Sonya, and Johnny regroup, and they start walking through this cavern, and Kenshi's sword illuminates and guides them through it, and all of a sudden a blue portal shows up and opens, and Johnny, Sonya, and Kenshi step through it. So finally, after all that, we're finally back at the fight scene between Raiden, Fujin, and Quan Chi, and apparently it states that they were able to take down the three revenants, meaning Kabal, Sindel, and Stryker. And Quan Chi then creates a long snaking green spine with a skull attached to it and wraps it around Raiden and squashes itself into his face, while Quan Chi begins mocking him for his previous blunders. Then a pair of skeletal hands erupts from the ground and begins to open, revealing that Shinnok is within them. Shinnok blasts the two gods unconscious with a sinister energy from his amulet, whilst threatening to destroy all life forces on Earth by corrupting the Jinsei. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. And what that is an existence that controls life on Earthrealm. Then Shinnok is surprisingly assaulted by Johnny Cage, which causes him to drop his amulet, and then the characters try to scurry and try to grab it. Then Sonya unloads a full clip out of a machine gun at Shinnok, but he uses magic to absorb it. Then Johnny and Sonya rush Shinnok and try to take him down in hand-to-hand combat, which we saw again in the Cage family trailer. But sadly it wasn't enough, and Sonya is knocked unconscious, and Shinnok uses a bunch of spells to debilitate Johnny Cage. So then Shinnok goes to finish off Sonya with his powerful magic attack from his amulet, but Johnny jumps in front of the blast and absorbs it and saves her, and then you end up fighting Shinnok. And one of his variations is called Imposter, where it states he uses a variety of speed attacks and robust arsenal of spells from his amulet in his Imposter variation. Some energy rises from the ground like Shang Tsung's ground fireballs, and he also has an amulet blast spell that stuns the opponent for a free hit. So after your fight, Johnny kicks the amulet towards Raiden, and then Raiden uses a blast to hit Shinnok and absorb him into the amulet and imprison him, which we saw in the story mode trailer. Then it pretty much ends where Johnny rushes to Sonya's aid, and she gushes when she calls him Johnny, implying that a beginning of a romance is starting. How cute, right? And then finally, Raiden says that he's going to keep the amulet in his possession and present it to the Elder Gods for counsel. Fujin agrees with Raiden, and then finally it ends with Johnny saying to Shinnok and the amulet, "Enjoy your new digs, Gramps," and that's how chapter 1 of the story mode ends. So I gotta say, guys, very, very, very cool. I loved it. I just wish I could have saw everything with my own eyes, but we're gonna have to wait 30 more days to do so. And the last thing I wanted to bring up about the whole chapter 1 of story mode, you'll see right here that you're looking at, Johnny actually says to Sub-Zero, "I liked it better when we fought on the same side," which pretty much gives you a hint of what Sub-Zero this actually is. So with all this info from the story mode, we also learned that Jax and Shinnok are going to be playable, definitely, because they both have variations in the story mode. So now I want to move on to the Combat Pack costumes, and we learned a couple interesting things here as well. It states when the Combat Pack launches on April 14th, fans who purchase the Combat Pack will receive the Samurai Pack, containing 3 new character skins. Ronin Kenshi, which confirms Kenshi, for the console version, because a lot of people were wondering if he was just in the mobile version or if he was in both versions. And this also includes 2 more skins, which are Samurai Shinnok and Jingu Kitana. As well as an accompanying skin pack with each playable character, the Combat Pack owners will gain early access to the following future DLC content before it is available for sale. So that's really cool. And the last thing I wanted to bring up before this video ends is, I wonder if there's going to be like a Revenant zombie skin pack, because we've seen like Zombie Kitana and we know she's playable. Then we have like the Revenant and Jax that we saw in this Cage trailer, and also the Revenant Sub-Zero that we just saw in the MKX live stream. And as you can see here, like Sonya, Kenshi, and Johnny Cage are wearing, these are pretty much their costumes, are going to be their default costumes, but when you watch the trailer and the combat cast, you can see they're wearing other costumes in that beginning of the story mode, so I'm guessing those will be their alternate costumes as well. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. I think we will end up getting a Revenant skin pack as well. Whether it's going to be like later on DLC, or if it's going to be like that cross-platform unlockable thing with the mobile version, whatever, but very cool. I can't wait to play this game. I'm so hyped every day, and that's pretty much everything I wanted to bring up in this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about all this, and like always, if you guys are fighting game fans and want the latest news and speculation on games like Mortal Kombat, Super Smash Bros., Pokken Tournament, and Street Fighter, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, check out all my other MKX videos, and follow me on Twitter. The links will be in the description and in the comments, so check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with a brand new video.